Children, now we have seen the previous class, what is Mandelic periodic table, how mostly corrected it, how many elements are arranged in that. Then elements are otherwise known as what? Metal. Now we have to see how the metals, what form they are getting it, either it is in the form of ore or mineral, we have to see how it is separated. This we are going to see. Metallurgy, study of metals is known as what? Metallurgy. There is a special characters of metals. They have some characteristic from 6th standard you would have studied. Everything we have to see in this lesson very detailed. Metallurgy, first we have to see what is it. It is a science of extracting metals from its ores and modifying the metals into alloys. Everything is science only. Science means it's not easy thing. Everything we have to prove by experimental. That is metals, we have ores, we have collected. Metals are not in the pure form, they are in impure status only. We have to collect them, we have to purify them, then we have to use it for some other purposes. Their uses, extraction, everything we have to study. So modifying based on the physical and chemical properties and the structural arrangement of atom. So this is metallurgy. What is metallurgy? What you have to say? It is given in the bold letters. It is a science of extracting metals from their ores and modifying the metals into alloys. Alloys, combination of more than two metals based on the physical and chemical properties and the structural arrangement of atom. So what are the three processes to take the metallurgy? Process means what? In Tamil what you have to say process, that is procedures, how to proceed. What are the process of separating the metallurgy? First one is concentration. Concentration or separation, both are same only. Concentration of the ore. Ore means that is the metals you are getting in the what state you are getting it, that is known as what? Concentration. Ore. Next one is production. From the ore we are separating the metal. Production of metal. And the third state is refining. What are the three stages? First one, concentration of ore. That is, we are mineral, we are digging at mining. Mining means what? Digging under the earth. From which place? Geologists, they will say in which place we get the gold, diamond, silver, like that. We have to dig out the place and take out. So while you are getting the metals, they are not in the pure form. They are in the combination state of many impurities. So from that we have to separate. So first one, you have to take the concentration of ore. We have to take the ore and concentrate it. Then from the ore we have to separate the metal, that is production of metal. After getting the metal, we are refining it. Refining means what? Purifying the metals. The three processes involved in metallurgy. What are the processes involved in metallurgy? Concentration of ore, production of metal, refining of metal. Clear? Then we have to see what is mineral, what is ore. What is mineral and what is ore? We'll see. What is mineral? That is, it is a single compound or complex mixture. Either it may be single compound or complex mixture. Okay, a single compound or complex mixture of various compounds of metals found in the earth. That is, it is not a pure form. It is the combination of many metals. This is mineral. For example, if you are getting aluminium, we cannot get aluminium alone. Along with the aluminium, we can get some other product also. That is mineral. Okay, ore, this is metal can be readily and chemically, economically extracted. So, okay, this is only one thing. Readily we can take. For example, aluminium ore, we can take aluminium only from that, there is no byproduct. Okay, such a thing. This is readily available. This is in the combination state. This is readily. Aluminium means aluminium only we are getting from the ore. But in the minerals, we cannot get aluminium alone. Along with the aluminium, we may get some other products too. So this is minerals. So what are the differences between mineral and ore? Mineral may be a single compound or complex mixture of various compounds of metals. This is mineral, which the metal can be readily and economically extracted on a large scale, big scale for the business purpose we are using, that is ore. Okay, for example, we can say clay. Clay, நம்ம சாதாவாக என்ன சொல்லுவோம் களிமண். But the chemical name, what are the elements present in that? Aluminium, aluminium oxide, and then silicon dioxide, SiO2, silicon dioxide, Si silicon, and then water. In the clay, what are the chemicals present in that? Aluminium oxide, silicon oxide, and then water. But whereas here, bauxite, this is mineral. In this we can get only aluminium. Okay, both clay also a form of aluminium only, but here what are the other substitutes there? Aluminium oxide, silicon dioxide, and water, but there is only bauxite. So this is the difference between mineral and ore. Mineral in the combination state of many, but ore only one element that can be easily extracted and readily useful. Clear? So even this mineral and ore also, we have to separation of mineral and ores in such a way, that is, what are the ways we have to separate? First, mining. So now we have seen what is metallurgy, what are the process involved in metallurgy, what is mineral and ore. Now we have to say how the mineral and ore is subtracted, what are the process involved in that. What are the process? First, mining. You know what is mining? Digging from the earth. Next one is gong. And the third one is flux. The fourth one is slag. Fifth one is smelting. How many processes involved in this? This and that you no need to study in detail, but just I am explaining what is what. So mining, gong, flux, slag, smelting. That is separation of minerals. Separation of ore from the minerals is not easy way. You have to go for the tree. That is mining. Mining means what? We are digging out from the earth. The surangam thondraangan solranga paranga. This is mining. Okay. So what is mining we'll see. Underline the important points alone. The process of extracting the ores from the earth crust is called mining. We are digging from the earth. Next one, gong or matrix. That is, this is the rocky impurities found along with the ore. So mining பண்ணும்போது நமக்கு கிடைக்குது பாருங்க, அது வந்து rocky impurities. Along with the other impurities we are getting it. So it is our duty to remove the impurities from that. For that what you are using? You are adding some flux. That is, it raises this temperature and remove the impurities. This is why what I said, mining we are extracting from the ground. So while you are mining here, we have to get some gong impurities along with the metals. That should be separated by using the flux. By using flux, we can increase the temperature or reduce the temperature and then separate the impurities. And slag, it is the fusible product and remove the impurities in another way. And finally smelting. 2 times we are removing the impurities, and finally we are roasted with the oxygen or nitrogen, and it becomes a compound of oxygen or nitrogen. Suppose you are separating aluminium like that, aluminium oxide. Final stage what will be? Aluminium oxide. Suppose nitrogen, roasting with the air. Air la ennalla irukku ungalku oxygen, nitrogen. So it may be either aluminium oxide or aluminium nitrate. Then it is easy to separate oxygen from that and get the aluminium. So metallurgy is a 3 process involved in that. What are the differences between mineral and ore? Now what are the stages involved to separate the ore from the ore? That is how to get the metal. That is mining, gong, flux, slag, smelting. Mining, digging out from the earth. Gong, the impurities present in that. Flux, we are raising the temperature and remove the impurities. We are washing and remove the impurities. And finally the byproduct what you have got is smelting. You are roasted with the oxygen. Clear? These are the ways of separation. Now we will see what are the ores, what are the types of ores we will see. Okay? What are the types of ore? Is it clear? The important thing is 3 metals we are going to learn from this. The first metallurgy, that is Mandelic periodic table we have seen. No? Then after that, that is what is modern periodic law, what are periods, what are groups, and the tabular form I said. Now we have to go for metallurgy, that is how we are extracting the metals. So what are the types of ore? There are 4 metals we are going to see. oxides ore, carbonate ores and allied ores, sulfide ores. Only 3 metals we are going to see in this. Oxide ores is page number 113. Name some oxide ores. அப்படி கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா you must know what it is. Oxide ores are, you no need to mention the formulas and symbols. Just you learn only the names. Oxide ores. It's in page number 113. Bauxite, cuprite, hematite. Okay, these are the oxide ores. Bauxite, it is the oxide ore of aluminium. See the symbol Al2. Cuprite, this is oxide ore of copper. Hematite, this is the oxide ore of iron. So, what are the ores? Oxide ore first. What are the metals we can get from that? Aluminium, copper and iron. Al for aluminium. Al, aluminium. Cu, that is cupric, copper. This is Latin name. And hematite, Fe, this is iron. These are the ores of oxide. Aluminium oxide, cupric oxide and iron oxide. Then we have to go for carbonate. That is cryolite, Na. What it is? Sodium. Plus for that is calcium, Ca, calcium. And rock salt, sodium, sodium chloride, that is a common salt. These are the ores of the carbonate and halide ores. These are the ores of halides. Then carbonate ores, this is ores of oxygen, this is ores of halides and this is the ores of carbonate. What are they? This is CaCO3 means what? Calcium carbonate. Ca for calcium and C for carbon, O3 for carbonate. That is 3 atoms of carbon in that. You must know the chemical names, then only you can find out what it is. Then MgCO3. Ca for calcium means Mg for what? Magnesium. Magnesium carbonate. And the next one is siderate, FeCO3. Fe already what I said, iron. Iron ferrous carbonate or ferric carbonate. So this is magnesium carbonate. This one is iron carbonate. That is ferric carbonate. Ferrous or ferric. Okay. The next one is sulfide ores, galena, Pb. Pb means what? Lead. Write the names in the book itself. Then iron I said already, Zn is zinc. Okay. So what are the types of ores? Oxide ore, carbonate ore, halide ore and sulfide ores. And I said what is what? On seeing the symbol you can identify what element it is. Now where are the ores present in Tamil Nadu? So these ores we are studying, we are getting from the mining, I say where and all it is present. This is important. For example, they may ask you, write a place where it is located. For example, limestone where it is located. Limestone means what? Calcium carbonate. You have to say limestone we are getting from Coimbatore, Kudalur and Dindigul. Gypsum, Trichy and Coimbatore. Titanium, Kanyakumari, Tirunelveli and Chittikori. Chromite, Coimbatore and Salem district. Magnetite, Dharmaburi, Erode, Salem. Tungsten, Madurai and Dindigul. So we'll see the physical properties. What are every metals? They got the physical properties as well as chemical properties. Physical properties are very simpler, but chemical properties, their reaction with other. So they, by chemical properties they form a new compound. Physical properties no changes may occur. The metal remains as it is. But the chemical properties, they are reacting with other metals and they become the compounds. Let us see what is physical property. Physical properties, all the metals are solid at room temperature. Mostly metals they exist the form of solid. Only one exception case, that is mercury. Mercury in the state of liquid, where you can see the mercury in the thermometers. So white color silvery metal. It is in the state of liquid. And luster means what? They have that shining capacity. Metals possess high luster. For example, gold, silver and all, diamond. Hardness, they are very hard. Metals are very hard and strong. Very hard and strong. That's why we can make whatever we want to make, we can make different shapes from the metal. For example, sodium and potassium, they are not odd. Exception. Exception means idha thavara. And melting point and boiling point, they have high melting point and boiling point. Density, they have the high density. Ductility, ductility means what? They can drawn into anywhere. For example, gold, we are making studs from that, bangles from that, ring and everything. So whatever the thing, ductile, that is ductility. Malleability is easily malleable. That can be beaten into thin sheets. And conduction, they are the good conductor of heat and electricity. They can easily soluble. Soluble means what? Easier karayu. Metal do not dissolve in liquid solvent. They do not dissolve. Clear? Again, let us go through what are the properties of metal. For example, they may ask you write any 2 properties, 2 mark or else 5 mark question. So we have to go through. So all the metals are solid. Exception what? Mercury and gallium. Luster. Luster means what I said, shining. They have the shining capacity. Example, gold. The luster is what? Metallic luster. They are very hard. They have most of the elements, most of the metals are hard. Exception is sodium and potassium. They are very light. Melting point and boiling point is high. Density, they have the high density. Ductility, so they are usually ductile. They are usually malleable. And they can conduct heat and electricity. They are insoluble in solvents. Clear? These are the physical properties. At least you be thorough with any 5 properties with the exception. And chemical properties. Atoms usually they got in the last orbit valence electron 1, 2, 3. I say no. Mostly the valence electrons are in the atoms, in the metals we can see 1, 2 and 3. So with the other metals they react and become ions. Ions means what? Charged particle. Then atomicity, mostly atoms are monoatomic. Monoatomic means what? 1. So they are mostly oxides. Metals are mostly oxides. Then metallurgy is the other chapter. In this chapter we have to see aluminium and how it is purified, what are the physical properties, chemical properties. Next to aluminium we have to see iron, copper. 3 metals we have to see. We will see in the other classes. So here in this lesson, the metallurgy, what are the things we have to see? What are the process occur in separation of metals? Where the metal ores occurred in Tamil Nadu? What are the physical properties of the metal? What are the chemical properties? So we have to study about aluminium, copper and iron in other classes. Okay? We will see in other class children. Thank you.